In this video, we're going to show you 3 apartments in central Tokyo. These are all apartments that you can realistically rent for under 1,000 USD per month, and they are within a 20-minute train ride to Shibuya. If you want to know the details such as the price, size, and location, we will be comparing all of those things at the end of the video. By the way, if you haven't watched our first apartment hunting video, be sure to check it out. I will have the link up here. As well, big shout out to our friend Mika.
Mika desu.
Mika is actually an English-speaking real estate agent here in Tokyo. She's going to be helping us through this entire apartment hunting process. So if you're also looking for a place in Tokyo, Mika can definitely help you out. We'll have her info in the description box down below. Today we're joined by both Mika and our friend Zach. Now let's take a look at the first apartment. Coming in, we see this welcome mat, which means that a professional cleaning company has already come by. This is part of the genkan, which is where you're supposed to take off your shoes before entering the apartment. There's a shoe closet with a mirror on the door, which is very handy. Lots of storage space for your shoes. And next to is another storage area. I'm not sure what I would put in here because it's not deep enough for hanging clothing. Maybe suitcases. Here we have the toilet room, and I noticed that lots of units have the toilet room near the front door. This is a pretty nice one. It's got a bidet and they cleaned it very well. It's all sealed and sanitized. Now let's continue into the actual living space. So we go straight through, and to the right, this is meant to be the bedroom.
This wallpaper is so cute.
Very light, bright, and airy. I like the vibes in here. Closet is a good size. Jeff is demonstrating with his body for scale. The only thing is that because this is a ground floor unit, you look outside and you're pretty much right on the road. Unlike North America, where lots of places have front yards and sidewalks to buffer you from the road, a lot of times in Japan, at least in central Tokyo, you're kind of right on the road. And so it feels less private. Although I will say that with all the windows open and I'm listening, it's very quiet in this neighborhood. It's very pleasant actually, and we haven't seen that many people walking by, maybe because it's a weekend morning. But the vibes in here are very nice if I'm just talking about the inside. This is the balcony, and it's pretty much just mainly meant for you to hang your clothes out here to dry. You also have the option of drying your clothes inside though, because there's this retractable clothes drying line.
Wow.
And I've not seen a retractable one before, so that's kind of interesting. Turning around from the balcony, it's the living space, and you'll see these panels that are kind of frosted and let light through. And it kind of separates the living space from the bedroom, but I love having the option of just keeping it open, so it's one big open space that just has a really good flow to it. Built-in shelving unit in front of the kitchen counter and another cabinet next to it. And then going into the kitchen, in terms of the stove, it's a 3-burner gas stove. There's a chopping board area, a big sink, and Jeff is just checking all of the cabinets and doors here. And also, of course, he has the size of the fish grill. Looks like he approves. One thing is that there's only space for a fridge back here and not any other appliances. Anyways, going into the bathroom, there's this big bathroom counter, and I really like this. Because sometimes, if I'm just drying my hair, I want a place to rest my hair dryer. I'm doing my makeup, to put my makeup down. So having this counter space is great. And all these shelves, awesome. Down here is even more space for stuff. And again, I like the colors. This dark wood style is very nice. Behind it is the shower and bath. This is standard. And also it's autofill, which means you can preset the volume and temperature of the bath water you want, and it can also reheat the bath water if it has cooled down.
Oh, sorry. How's it going?
I like it.
Can I show you the floor things maybe?
Oh yeah. Wow, sugoi.
These underfloor storage units are also pretty common in Japan, and it's used for storing non-perishables.
What would you put?
Mushrooms maybe?
Under this panel here is not storage though. This is to give any maintenance workers access to, I guess, some pipings and wires and stuff, so this doesn't get touched much. And if anyone knows what this is on the ceiling, please let us know. We think it might be an alarm or sprinkler system or something.
Also, there is a security system because probably it's on
First
the first
floor.
floor. When you lock it and turn on the security, someone tries to break in, they will call, this machine will call the company, they will call the police.
And that's about it for the first of 3 apartments that we'll be viewing today, so let's head over to the next one. This This is a small apartment complex with only 8 units, I believe, and the one that we're going to see is on the 2nd floor. You first. One of the first things that we noticed coming in is that the genkan, where you're supposed to take your shoes off, is quite small in this apartment. You can't really fit more than one person, and if you were to open the shoe closet, you have to kind of scooch over to make sure you don't get hit by the doors. The stairs are kind of just like right in front of your face as you come in, so the entranceway does feel a little bit more cramped, but there's not that many steps, so I guess, you know, it's workable. This is the living room area, and the first thing we had to do was open the metal gates protecting the windows, and we struggled for a while before realizing that it's electric and there was a button on the side the whole time. The ceilings are high in the living room, making it feel more spacious, and looking out this window, there's this big garden belonging to the house across from us. And this is really nice because it serves as a bit of a buffer room, so we're not looking into someone else's window directly. As we look out through this other side from our balcony, we are coming face to face with entrances to other people's apartments. So when they come in and out, they could probably see right into our living room. Coming back inside, you'll see that the kitchen has a semi-open concept, although the ceiling here is slanted, which makes the area feel more claustrophobic. However, there's 2 windows that let in sunlight to kind of open it up visually again. And on the back wall, there's lots of space for a fridge and other appliances. Gas stove unfortunately only has 2 burners, but there's also one more big problem.
Is there no fish grill?
That's a deal breaker. As we exit the kitchen and turn right, the first door leads into the room with the sink. There's a nice mirrored cabinet, and interestingly, one of the power outlets are actually inside this mirrored cabinet, which I haven't seen before. This little nook is for the washing machine, and then behind it, the shower room. The bathtub is autofill, so this is all very standard. Then the next door over is the toilet room. With that slanted ceiling, it does feel small, but it has a window to offset. And as expected, there is a bidet.
Sanitarized? Nice.
Across from the toilet room, there's this really adorable storage area. I couldn't help but to just jump in and sit inside. I'm not sure what I would store in here, probably things that I don't use often because it's a deep storage and it'll be hard to reach things. Last thing to see in this apartment is this bedroom. There's 2 closets and one of them goes really deep. Like this one has 2 tension bars in there for you to hang clothes, and then there's a second closet on this other wall. And that's pretty much it for this second apartment. This apartment is also on the 2nd floor of a small apartment complex, and low-rise buildings like these are quite common in this neighborhood that we're looking at today. Coming through the genkan, this one feels a bit more spacious than the last one. There's a good shoe storage, and the stairs to these types of apartments always tend to be kind of steep and narrow. Anyways, on the immediate left when you come to the top is the toilet room. And the first impression here is that things feel a little bit older, a bit more dated, but the whole apartment has been professionally cleaned, seems reasonably well maintained. And then we turn over here and there's the semi-open kitchen. Nice that there's space on the back wall for an extra countertop to put extra appliances and storage for pots and pans, fish grill, and a 3-burner stove. There's an extra little pantry space here with built-in shelves, so pretty solid kitchen. And then this is the bedroom. There's a random dark wall that I'm not crazy about. I also noticed that these windows are frosted, which I don't really like the look of either, but it's for privacy reasons because the neighbors are right across at eye level and they could see inside our bedroom easily if it wasn't frosted. Then this other window looking out is like a rusty roof and then like a truck parking lot, but at least you're not right up against another building. One highlight of this place is this huge closet. This is definitely more than enough room for us to store all of our stuff, so that's awesome.
We should not get this one. Then you'll have to buy more clothes.
That's true. Wait, what? Then as we exit this bedroom and go straight down, we will arrive to the living area. And the space itself, layout-wise, is fine for me. Looking out these twin windows though, it's the same view of that rusty roof, even closer up, and then the truck parking lot. Having multiple views of this rusty roof is not so pleasant. Then looking out the balcony, I feel like I'm very close to the next house. I think this is just an issue that most Tokyo houses will have just because it's so dense here. Anyways, going into the bathroom.
Whoa! Yo, it's like a full-size bath.
Whoa, I've never seen this in Japan yet so far. We're really surprised when we saw the bathtub because this is like a North American sized bathtub, and we were just so excited at the thought of being able to straighten our legs in the tub. So this is definitely a highlight, and that rolled up thing you see in the corner is a bathtub cover. Then the sink area has this long countertop, similar to the first apartment we saw today, and the mirrored cabinets, so the bathroom is all good for me. Washer goes in the corner, and there's extra space for like a little shelving unit if we want to put one there. And then under the floor there is just access to piping and wires. And that's all for apartment number 3. So those were the 3 apartments that we saw this week, and now it's time for a quick summary and comparison. The first apartment was in Eifuku, which is a quiet residential area that still offers direct access to Shibuya via a 20-minute train ride. The apartment was a pleasant 7-minute walk from the station, and along the way there's nice roads and lots of pretty houses. The apartment is 35 square meters, but it felt a bit bigger than that, and I think it's because of the open layout as well as it being a steel framed structure, meaning that the walls are a bit thinner compared to, say, a reinforced concrete building. And the way that they measure area here is from the middle of the wall, so the thicker the walls are, the less usable space you'll actually have. However, as a side note, when you do have thick walls, it means better insulation and soundproofing in general. So there's a trade-off. Probably the most important thing to note about this unit is that it's a ground floor unit. And I've actually written that off as a deal breaker for the longest time because of all the horror stories I've heard about a bunch of bugs getting in and also a lack of privacy. But we figured it wouldn't hurt to see one of these ground floor units in person. And on the day that we went to view this place, it was stunning. The weather was gorgeous, so being inside that apartment with the windows open, the wind and sunlight coming in, it felt amazing. The inside of the apartment was modern, well maintained, and the color theme of the floors and the cabinets were totally our style. However, due to the location of this unit being pretty much right on the road with no buffer between the house and the street, we can imagine that on weekdays there's going to be lots of foot traffic with people going to and from work, kids coming to and from school, and also right outside the bedroom window is a car park. And so we'll hear cars coming in and out, engines, doors slamming. Probably not the best environment to live and relax in. So for now, I think we stand by our original opinion that a ground floor unit is a no-go. The rent for this apartment is 132,000 yen, and according to the listing, there is no deposit and no key money required, which is quite unusual, but it does happen when they're trying really hard to find a tenant. So maybe that's the case here. As for the guarantor fee, it's usually going to be half a month to 1 month's worth of rent, but that depends on the guarantor company that the landlord decides to use. The second apartment is located in Hamadayama, which also offers direct access to Shibuya via a 20-minute train ride, and this apartment is only a 5-minute walk from the station, which is super convenient. It's a 47-meter squared unit located on the 2nd floor, and it has some cute features, including high ceilings in the living room, which makes it feel more spacious. As well, one of the main windows looks out into a big garden downstairs, and that serves as a bit of a buffer between our building and another building. However, the floor plan here isn't the most ideal for us. If you remember, the living room and kitchen was on one end of the apartment and the bedroom was on the other end, and they were connected by a hallway, and it just felt kind of tunnel-like to us, and it isn't really our cup of tea, but that's just personal preference. As well, the ceiling in the kitchen and the toilet room was actually slanted. You know, it could be charming to some people, but other people might find it to seem a little claustrophobic. So again, personal preference. We didn't notice any major issues with the apartment other than those little quirks. The rent for this apartment is 140,000 yen per month with 1 month of key money, 1 month deposit. And again, the guarantor fee will depend on the company that the landlord decides to use. Now for the third apartment, it's also located in Hamadayama, which is a 20-minute train ride into Shibuya, 5-minute walk from the train station, and one of the major selling points is that the apartment is located at the end of one of the major shopping streets in the neighborhood, so it's super lively and convenient for day-to-day life. This unit is 46 square meters, also located on the 2nd floor. There's a giant walk-in closet, huge bathtub where you can fully extend your legs, and a large kitchen. On the flip side, some of the less attractive points about this apartment is firstly, multiple windows there look out onto a rusty roof and a truck parking lot, so the view isn't great. As well, when we were there, we could actually hear the neighbors talking in the building next door and the dogs barking, so the soundproofing doesn't seem to be that great. And finally, the overall feeling of the apartment was a bit more dated, and I think it's mostly because of the color of the walls and the floors there. The rent for this apartment is 147,000 yen per month. There is no key money and just 1 month of deposit. So that's it for the 3 apartments that we viewed this week. Please let us know in the comments below which one you would choose for yourself. We're also going to have more videos coming out soon and revealing the apartment that we'll end up choosing. So again, if you're interested, be sure to subscribe to our channel, and I'll see you guys again very soon. Bye!